I was recording yesterday. My fault. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I was already speaking. Thanks for mentioning it. That helps. Heb jij nog van dingen misschien?
Sinds daar ben ik over bezig.
Corrigeren. Even een document nodig dat bewijst dat hier een onderdeel van het document geworden. Nu nog maar.
Dat want iedereen weet dat je er niet meer hebt.
Ik wil doorzetten.
Dus ja, terugkrijgen betekent dat.
En dat in terugkrijgen? Ik wil dat ik terug bij Older moest zitten en het Older moest geschrapt worden, want ik zat er wel met sociaal techniek. Dat is wel het verschil, hè.
Dus daar ging het om.
Okay. Order flow at the moment itself is downward structure. Yeah, I'm just behind the charts. I didn't watch anything yet, so it's okay. We just hit a 15-minute for value gap. Let's see what this shows us. Do we go continuing lower? That would have been actually. Yeah, I was not in time on the charts to start shorting already. Otherwise, that would have been the short highs. Play to the downside. So I'm not in this, I'm just watching. I was not on time online. Okay, so for the moment we are, like I said, we're still in a down structure right now. We are in that ranging part. I want to see if we break. There ain't much liquidity to the downside either, so we have liquidity still here. 24,000 and then the huge wick where everybody got spiked out. So we got two major liquidity pools still left in this full structure. Otherwise, there ain't any liquidity left except of the upside. We did take our previous day low already. That was right here. So if we stay in this internal structure, what we've been 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, this would have been 4 days of sideways movement. Now this is the 5th. If we stay in this structure, we want to be longing at this point instead of shorting. We already take out previous day low. You can see this is actually the ranging part that we've been in. So this is not the most favorable market for trading. We prefer movements like this. it's much nicer to trade with than actually if we have a 4-day sideways. Okay, it's a decent range, like I said before. It's like 500-600 points, so we definitely can trade it. But we prefer some move of an expansion, of course. We got 1 more minute. It's a smaller range today. That's great to see. It's been rather wide the last few days, so it's 35 points. Now, at the moment itself, we are still moving lower. So nothing's indicating yet that we are going up, and unless we take. If we want to see, we should move at least above that high, and then we're probably going for these equal highs right here. The only reason why I believe that we can go up is because we've taken out actually all liquidity. This was previous day low, so done, taken out. If we do continue lower, that means that our bias has to completely change and that we actually are gonna be in a downtrend. Yeah, that was an entry. Really. I was not behind the chart, so if I'm not behind the charts, I don't want to start shorting the first second that I get behind the chart. That would have been a valid entry. Well, like I said, we're actually at the lows of these daily movements. So I believe more that we would go up than down. Oh, we have a daily gap. Where is it? Here I don't. Why do I have it here? If we move to the downside, there is only one target, and that's actually this one right here. So that would mean that we short to 24,425. So that's about a 200 move downwards. There is nothing in between anymore. We've taken out all of liquidity, so the only liquidity still left is right here. this is actually a nice indication. So we came up, we took out that structure right here. So this looks like we are changing hands to the upside. We tapped that 5 minute right here. So if we continue up, would be a nice indication that we actually move back up right here. Oh, NQ didn't close, but MNQ did close. Strange. NQ closed about outside, NQ did not. MNQ, I seen it's under the edge. Check what was go. So if you watched MNQ, it was no close. If you watched NQ, that was a close. So Anisha watches MNQ, so it's no close for her. Morning, Arjun. Did you take a short, Phil? Otherwise that would have been around 1 hour right here. If you took this. Have you seen it? That would have been 1.5, 1.9. If you'd taken this, I would have taken profit right there. And then put your stop to your entry. So starting next week, I'll do a 2-hour live stream right here, and I will continue then in Discord for the morning session. I'll see if I can do an afternoon session, yes or no. Probably, that will probably be a bit much for myself. So in the journal itself, I didn't take a trade yesterday and today, so I took 2 on the 15th. And we are still at 46, 47, so 10, 20, 30, 24 trades in the 100 trades, and I'm up 21 hours still. We run short, so orb, pre-orb is actually in short right now. Yeah, first target would be, let's see. If we go down, that would be first target 24,540. So the new evaluation that I will start from next week. I'm just gonna have some fun with it. Let's see how fast we can scale it up, or how clean we can scale it up. There are gonna be only 15-minute entries. So Discord will be open for at least two extra hours. So I keep doing from 8 to 10 in here, and then I'm gonna show in Discord itself the continuing 2 hours. I will not be constantly after the screen. I will be coming back and forth like every 15 minutes. Yeah, completely. Why do I not use real data? This is real data. It's on green. This is real data. Otherwise there is a D right here and delay. Morning, Silrak. Nice to visit. Nice that you visit. Yeah, maybe it's YouTube that makes it maybe just a second on slow. But if you don't have real data, it should be a D inside. So. Morning, Blake. How have you been, Silrak? Been a while? Happy to hear that. Oh, nice. Where do you live right now? I want to move to a warmer country. Toronto, Canada. Well, that's not really a warm country, is it, Canada? Or am I misinformed? Come to India. Yeah. How hot? That doesn't matter really. As long as the winters are like 15 degrees, I'm okay. I don't know how much that is in Fahrenheit, actually. That's about 59 Fahrenheit. But I would love to have, 59 Fahrenheit. I would love to have the winters. How much do expenses cost in India? Arjun? Big downside target is Tuesday low around 24 thoughts. Same idea. So this is indeed the major liquidity pool. So this is the major liquidity pool. There's just like a 5-minute value gap right here in between still that we could have a little move off of. But if we don't, this would be actually it. Breads for 50 cents. Cold coffee for $1. And if you compare it to housings, how much is, say that you have to rent a house for a month? Yeah, it will depend on what you want, really. Swordau for $1. Okay.
Ja, een bread is hier €3.
Yeah, we have to buy. If we buy bread in a bakery, we buy around $3 to $4 for one. It's even more. In dollar signs, so in dollars I would say around $4.50.
And coffee, huh?
The coffee here, that's $8. If you go to, if you want to drink a coffee somewhere. So again, first idea that we would go to is that 24,540 level. So we're now in the last 15-minute gap right here. So there is still a 5-minute right here where we're trading in. Now I want to see that continuation. If we fall further, this would be the first indication, that fair value gap, and then afterwards, actually all the way back to 24,425. There is not much liquidity between those. So that first target of mine would be around the 2 hour that you get. The second target is actually down here. If we get that low, that would be around the 5 hour. So next week, when I get back on Discord, I'll show live trades again on my own account. I'm just going to have a fun tryout. I'll take every 15-minute for value gap that we see in the direction that it should go, and just want to watch the outcome. Not gonna say it just started or this or that. I'm just gonna take the ball. I want to see that outcome, how good that actually is, without any indication of the market structure or changing hands, or just in the way that the market was moving. So we saw that the market was moving down. No matter how many fair value gaps still left, I would just enter and just say, let's go. That would have been a 3 hours straight out of that fair value gap on that 15-minute move. That would be the move, so that would have been already 3.5 right here. This actually works very nice, this continuation movement. So pre-orbs up almost 1.5 right here. So if you're in with multiple contracts, you can just take like a half hour off. Because we're still trading in that 15-minute gap right on the side here, so this one. Now we traded straight into it. I just want to see that continuation right here. There's no point actually to come back to that entry of ours. Still looking good at this point. Market still shows strength to the downside. We did have a bit of a rejection, but still closed below that wick, and that's good to see. So again, if you did not take anything off, I would take like one contract off just to be sure that you took some profits.
het wifi en hotspot $113.
I use or rent a room in the mountains with wifi, hot water, $113 rent. Morning, Emily. Whoa, what? A room? You rent one room? Or how do I have to see this? That's actually new for me. Yeah, I have a family, so I need to take my wife and kids with me, so I have a dog and maybe two cats also that need to go with me. One does actually need to join me. The other one, it's his own choice. That's actually pretty cheap, $113. Market's still moving nicely down. Is it gonna be a faster trade day? Could be happy. So next minute, I would love to see that strong push down. So we now touched that 15-minute twice and got pushed up from it. I'm still not sure 100% what this market was to do at this point after 3 days of sideways movement. One, two, three, four. Now this is the fifth. We're taking out all liquidity. So the only liquidity actually is right here, the strongest liquidity pool. But if you're ranging, yeah, then this would be the low of the day, or maybe when open comes the low of the day, and then back to the upside. As long as the market shows strength to the downside, we continue with order flow. Where's the bottom? Yeah, that's a bit. For $1,000 you can get a full bungalow. Yeah, that's about the same price here in Belgium. But probably now it's the view of the mountains. And we are going back to Ace lows, 530 USDT. So what's going on with crypto and how far can we go? Yeah, I did not watch crypto yet. Very decent move down. Yeah, we could go back to this low at least and take that out. This is the last liquidity pool that we have right here. What on adding? This was an ad. because this does not. Bitcoin is going up again, so like I said, if we take out, we are now at equal highs right here, so if we take this out, we can go up to 60%, so that means that the altcoins will bleed out a little bit more, or have a little bit more downside movement. I wanted to actually, once we were moving lower here, I wanted to see if we could fall under 58. That would have been a very great indication that the market would start rallying again, but instead we are moving up right here, and dominance. So that means if Bitcoin dominance goes up and the price is still going lower, that the altcoins are actually, everything is going back into USDT or gold or silver or anything else, well, except of crypto at this point. Look, what did I say? If we go above 480, I'm selling. I do not want to see us move above this, so we did move above it, so I'm selling cryptos at this point. I'm not accumulating anything. This is not looking very promising. Yeah, if we go above that would be the high that we want to take right now. So 24,000, that would be 5.24%. That's another 0.2% up that we could move. If this does not hold us, but we've taken already this week, so if this does not hold us right here again, that actually looks not good. That could mean that we could all the way go back up here. That's about 7% in USDT. If that happens, we see that's a huge amount of liquidity back into out of the market. That would not be good for crypto at all. That means end of the bull run if this happens. It is that time of year that the end of the bull run should come, so I already told all of you that was a possibility. End of October, end of the run. It only happened like a week or two earlier, or a week or 3 earlier. Now we have to be patient for another 2 years. So 24 was the previous, so that's a 2-year cycle downwards and then another 2 years back up. So yeah, that's crypto. Unpredictable. I told all of you that I was selling already a bit. And I also said if we come back to my entries were actually bought, that I would sell it again, and actually we did. Most of them came back to my entry. So Sai got back to my entry, sold. Sol came back to my entry, sold. I do need movement to the upside. If we don't get any movement to the upside, like AVAX came back to my entry, sold. They were on a trailing drawdown, so if it came to a certain level, I got out of it immediately. I can always jump back in, but if this drops back to like say $14, that would be not good for my portfolio. That's 25% off my entry. That I don't want. So I'll just be patient right now and see what the market gives. I'll rather be sitting at the side with a bit more cash and jumping back in when the market shows strength again. At this point, I would rather buy silver and gold right now. These still look very bullish momentums. Like Ethereum back to 3008, where I said to buy it, so we're actually at my entry point. So when it drops below 3800, I'm out of it again. So you're up right now 1.6. If you add it, that would be around a 2R, definitely. So at this point, it does not look good for crypto. But the same for Nasdaq. Nasdaq dropped also a huge amount. The only thing that actually holds strength is Bitcoin at this point. Yeah. We have been 1, 2, 3, 4 months of sideways movement. If we drop, like I said, this is the area that we could bounce off. So that would be break of structure, upsides, not much displacement, just retest and continuation. But that means that we are in a down movement, or in down movement right now. We still got 14 days in this monthly, so be patient, would I say. But if we do hit like that 89,000 level, that would be end of the bull run. I'm quite sure. I don't think we have like such a huge extended bull run. Everybody always says this, but it would be strange. History repeats itself too many times to actually be accurate. So this is quite the decent move on the previous day low, so my aiming is that we go to this level. So if we got another adding, I'll show you where we could go to. So if you want to be full in profit, we should not come back above 24,600. So you can actually put this first to your entry if you want to. That would be a free trade, so you only be in with this one left. That would look something like this with a stop. So that's only like a 32 point stop that you have. At least take the contract off too. You're up at more than 2R right here if you add it to this trade. So first one should definitely be at entry, and then one left right now with a bit of not. So if you took a contract off, you should definitely, even with this one, be in profit. If it comes back to your entry, you still would be in profit right now. So we have 5 minutes before open. I believe open will have that small push lower, at least taking out this liquidity one more time, and then maybe then move back up. We're still trading in that 15 minutes for value gap right on the side here, and we're heading actually for 5 minutes, so this is why I said this would be first TP for me, and afterwards 24,422. The reason why I said there was possibility that we could change hand is because we are ranging. As long as we are ranging, we need to make sure, as long as we stay in this bound range, this is actually like the place where we could have the up movement again. I believe this will be a short trading session. Yeah, if we hit TP right here, I would say close the books for the day and be done with it. Doesn't always play out this way, but if it does, we're always happy that we get a Very early trading day, done with it for the whole day. So when bull market, and what about all the announcements of Trump's and crazy bull run? Sell the news, my friend. That's why I don't watch news. I said before actually the market started. You can watch, I still remember that movie that was predicting Bitcoin 150,000 would be the max for this run. I'm not so far from it. It was 125 but 126, so that's about 25,000 off of it. When we started we were around 18,000, so it was pretty close. And that's just by measuring exactly what happens every cycle. If you go back into time and you watch cycles over and over again, you can just even measure it. So extended bull run, if you want to have an extended run, I'll keep this chart open on the side a bit. More drawings. Okay, if we go back every time when we had the dip, so this was COVID dip, so this was actually a halving, 2020, until the peak we had 600 days. Okay, great. So halving was at 24, I believe. 22, 22, yeah, 24. So that was February somewhere. So that would be 600 days. So it's not so easy, not so difficult to calculate these things. So that would be pretty accurate. So for halving, about 600 days bull run we have. The only thing was, it was not actually on the halving that we had the major bull run, because we had like a sideways movement. So I believe it was March somewhere, correctly. It was March. So maybe a bit more days that we can have, but still, that would be 580 days, so that's about 20 more days. That's why I expected actually the end of the month. So full TP coming in, 30 seconds. For open, let's hope open pushes it down. One more time. Be aware of it that we have a 15-minute just laying above this, so the market can just come in, tap it, and then continue, of course. Would be nice if the market just starts opening and flushes immediately to your TP. I'm gonna take myself a drink. But see it also as Bitcoin drops as an excellent opportunity when the market continues to flush down. Just keep buying it as long as you have a little bit of cash flow left. And I would say every 10 of every 5,000 Bitcoin drops, just put in for the next 2 years, every week or every month, the same amount of it, and just buy it constantly. The whole bear market's true. If you keep buying it, it will go up eventually again. So say that the next market, the bull market goes to 250, 300,000 for a Bitcoin. That would be actually insanely beautiful. So that means that you did 2x with your money, even starting buying from right now. Nothing gives a return of 2x in just a small period of time. And Bitcoin actually did a lot, guys. Bitcoin alone did like an 8x from its 18,000. So on the low on 22, 23 I believe that was, 18,000. So if you take 125, divided by 18, that's a 6.9x. What gives you a return of 6x? That's for every $100 you make $700. Every 1,000 you make 6,000. What's it say? So on an average you would have had like a 2.5x at least. So this is at least 2R that you get out of the first trade. Second trade too. Still moving lower, so first TP will be hit in about 5 minutes I believe. What about other coins like ETH or maybe ADA to accumulate long term? ADA actually has no use cases. It's very well known in Africa. ETH has been performing very good, so it's a very nice coin too. If you're a new investor into cryptocurrencies, I would only recommend to buy Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is the first one to go up, and you can then swing trade into ADA and the rest. You will even have more accumulated that way. So once you see the Bitcoin dominance drop, that means that you've already done at least a 2 to 3x of your money. You take your investment out of it, you keep that money on the side, that investment, and take like 50% or 30% more out of it than your investment itself, and use those 30% to add to altcoins. That came like a half point of my TP, guys. Make sure that you did take profit at least. Yeah, I've been known to actually have a TP just like a point or three of mine that it tends to jump back up. So make sure at least that you took some profits right here. I would not recommend to buy any of the altcoins to accumulate them for a longer period of time. The reason why is they have not been long enough in the market to know exactly what it will do. Excuse me. Okay, that's full TP. So that's a 2.4 right here, and that should be a 2.2. So that's a 4x, 4R that you just made here. Congrats. Oh, and that actually just dipped my TP, you guys. So if you're fully out here, nicely done, nice profit taking, done with work for today. If you leave a runner, you could just leave like one runner to the next area, and the next area would be 24,425. Not sure that we get there. If the market tends to keep going sideways, it would be here that I would say that the market can change its hand again. That's the last full value gap actually before this TP. But that only time will tell. So if you have left one runner, make sure that they are at break even your stops and see what the market does. If it does give you another 100 points for one contract, that would be worth it. But if you're happy with the profit that you made, just take the TP. I would say share the profits in Discord. I appreciate it. So this is gonna be a short stream for me. And all of you have an early weekend. It's Friday, so done with the week. If you took at least more than 2 hours right here, do not trade again today, guys. Just be proud with the profits you took. Be happy. You're lucky. Good for the weekend to start with. Boy, the rumors sell the news. Nice one, Blake. Definitely. Happy for you, Arjun. Know that that I'm the only one doing this strategy, guys. Nobody knows it except with me. This is my own. Oh, this is the move. Low. So if you left one runner, you could take maybe another R out of it. But if you took full TP, this would be perfect. 4R is a very nice trade. So pre-order, nobody knows the strategy except with me. It's my own invention. And all of you, of course, because you are here every day with me. So it's 9:09 right now. I'll give it another 5 minutes, and if you have any questions, just send them right now. Otherwise, I'll call it today for the day. I'm fully out, by the way, so my wife is fully out. So this would be that full 5-minute gap, fully filled right now. Let's see what we take here. Did we take a low? No, not yet. So that would be the next liquidity pool if we keep falling. Lock your trades also. I'm not sure that Nicholas is here. If you are, there was no journal yesterday. I didn't remember. So you didn't remember, but I didn't remember it either, so you didn't miss it. Will be for next week. Or if you send it to me, I can go over it. I didn't do reviews for the journal. Actually, I was not gonna. Yeah, I saw it in the afternoon session when I started. I was like, shit, I didn't remember that one. Yeah, perfect. We take it on Thursday. If I understand it correctly, Bitcoin still looks okay. Bitcoin looks actually. Read the chat on other screens. Happy to help, Blake. Love it that it actually helped the teachings. Yeah, I must say ES is way cleaner as structure than NQ. So the bootcamp will reopen soon for anybody that's new or want to join it. If Bitcoin goes below 89,000, that doesn't look good, Emily. At this point, I'm on hold. But selling my Bitcoins, that's not something I like to do. I like to accumulate Bitcoins, but selling it would not be the smartest move either. And I'm happy for you, Blake. Nice that you shorted 5 hours from now. What time was it then back then? That was Asia that you shorted. 5 hours. So we're now 9. So that was around 4. Oh yeah, nice. That's a 200 point drop. Love it. You probably even entered here around this area then. So once you saw this big move to the downside, you probably entered here somewhere on the retest, stops at the high and then flush down. Probably something like this. If you're new to trading, I've been over this, but if you're very new to trading, I would actually recommend start trading on ES. Order flow is so much cleaner. It doesn't have those unprepared spikes. So this is like that spike that we had here up on the 5 minute, and here we had actually a very clean entry movement, no indication that something else will happen. So here also very nice movement. Same from yesterday. Once we had that sideways movement, ES actually had a very clean movement down here. Came into liquidity pool, moved back up, took out the highs, and okay, we had rejection of everything. This was actually very nice to trade off. If you see this on NQ, that was way different. This was yesterday. So here we started chopping around for half hours, and look, ES was actually already moving very cleanly down. Back up, took the highs, and then we saw huge movement. Here we did not, so this was actually unreadable. So here we just chopped around constantly. We took the highs. Nothing told us actually that we would go down again, except in the half hour when we stopped above the high, so we got rejected off of it, and then we could have seen it happen. But ES actually already shown it. Same on a 15-minute based, we came into per value gap, we came into an open per value gap even. We tapped it, We had structure to the upside, we came back, and then the move down. So if you want to start reading charts, actually ES is way cleaner than Nasdaq to read it. Gonna be honest, I never traded ES before, but it shows way more confirmation that actually moves cleaner. So if you left that runner, we will probably hit your second TP. So I'm happy for all of you. If there are no more questions, I'll end the stream by this. Yes, I like the cleaner setup and the momentum of the points. Not as many points get moved as in Q, but you make more per point. It's greater. Yeah, that's exactly what I see too, Blake. If you learn how order flow goes, look, how I actually knew this was actually I went to ChatGPT too. I've seen it move, and I actually asked the difference between the two. And if you just go ask this bot actually knows like everything. If I have a question, it's always nice to. So, what did I ask him? What would be better for new traders actually traded the market that actually had less experience and wanted to learn order flow? He actually immediately told me that ES was actually the better part to choose of. This is in Flemish. So, short advice for beginners to experienced intraday traders: mass is more a stable, better readable structure, and for scalpers and momentum traders, NQ is better because it's faster, but less safe. And the reason why is NQ, so market structure, better stable. 500 companies spread over many different sectors, and NQ is actually 100 companies only in big tech companies. Way bigger spikes and manipulated moves, and on ES, lower volume but more fluid price action. So for a starter trader and you read market structure, is ES actually a better trading spot than Nasdaq itself? And I actually never knew this. But just because recently I've been watching both of them move similar, that I actually saw how beautiful actually ES moved in comparison to Nasdaq. So that would be, this is definitely going for that lower part. If you still left a runner open, you'll probably hit the next TP in about a few minutes. Can we jump in a trade now? That was actually the move to the downside for Orb itself, I believe. So you could take Orb from 9 o'clock to the downside if you're still wanting to trade that lower. Happy to help, Nicolas, like always. That's what I'm here for. These kind of days we do need to take appreciation off of. If we have like a 4 or 5 hour immediately and they left that one contract go to the downside, you took another 80 points. Okay, that's it for me today. Have a nice fun day and see you back on Mondays or on the afternoon session. If you take a profit today and it's like the good for you, stay off of the charts for today. Be happy. You have an early weekend. Enjoy the rest of the day. See you back the afternoon. And share the profits and don't wait for M&Q. And please share the profits in Discord.